You get 6 hours of sleep. You wake up, have your coffee, go to the gym, eat your protein. You feel okay. Not great, but okay. And you think, 6 hours is fine. Plenty of people run on 6 hours. Here's what nobody tells you. In those 2 missing hours, your body made a decision about your muscle, your fat, and your hormones. And it was not the decision you wanted it to make. Let's talk about what actually happens inside your body when you cut sleep short. The first thing that changes is growth hormone. The majority of your daily growth hormone is released in the first few hours of deep sleep. Growth hormone is responsible for repairing muscle tissue, burning fat, and recovering every system in your body. When you sleep 6 hours instead of 8, you're cutting into that window. Less deep sleep, less growth hormone, less repair. The second thing that changes is testosterone. 1 week of sleeping 5 to 6 hours per night drops testosterone levels by 10 to 15%. That is not a small number. That is the difference between a body that builds muscle and a body that struggles to hold on to what it already has. The third thing is cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It rises when you are sleep deprived. And elevated cortisol does 3 things you do not want. It breaks down muscle tissue, it promotes fat storage in your abdomen, and it blocks the very hormones responsible for recovery. So in one night of poor sleep, your muscle repair is compromised, your testosterone is suppressed, and your body is actively storing fat. That is not a theory. Those are measured numbers from sleep research. There is a landmark study from the Annals of Internal Medicine that I want you to know about. 2 groups, same calorie deficit, same diet, same amount of weight lost. The difference, one group slept 8.5 hours per night. The other slept 5.5. The group with adequate sleep lost the majority of their weight as fat. The sleep-deprived group lost 60% more muscle mass and 55% less actual fat. Same food, same deficit. Completely different body composition result. Because sleep is not recovery time. Sleep is when the actual work happens. And then there is appetite. Sleep deprivation increases ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry. It decreases leptin, the hormone that tells you when you're full. So the next day after a short night, your body is biologically pushing you toward overeating, more cravings, specifically for sugar and fat. This is not a lack of willpower. This is your hormones responding to a deficit. Now bring this into the gym. You trained yesterday. You slept 6 hours. Your muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body actually builds muscle, is running at a reduced rate. The micro tears from your workout are not being repaired at full capacity. Your glycogen, the fuel your muscles run on, is not fully replenished. You show up to today's session already compromised. The weights feel heavier, your focus is lower, your output drops. And here is the frustrating part. You might be doing everything right with your training and nutrition, and 6 hours of sleep is quietly canceling a significant portion of the work. Most people look at their plateau and think, do I need a different program? More protein? Different exercises? Before any of that, the answer might simply be, you need to sleep. Here is what the research points to. 7 to 9 hours is the documented range for optimal hormonal function in adults. For men who are actively training, consistently aiming for 8 is the most evidence-backed target. But I also understand the reality. You have a job, a family, responsibilities that don't pause. So here is how you protect the sleep you do get, even when the total hours are limited. First, protect the first 90 minutes of sleep. This is when your deepest, most hormonally productive sleep occurs. That means no alcohol within 3 hours of bed. Alcohol fragments deep sleep, even if it helps you fall asleep faster. Second, consistent bed and wake times. Your body releases growth hormone on a schedule. That schedule is anchored to your circadian rhythm. If your sleep time shifts by 2 hours on weekends, you are disrupting the hormonal pattern even if the hours are the same. Third, temperature and light. Your core body temperature needs to drop to initiate deep sleep. A slightly cooler room, around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius, meaningfully improves deep sleep quality, and no screens 30 minutes before bed. The blue light delays melatonin onset by up to 90 minutes. These are not wellness suggestions. These are levers that directly affect your muscle, your fat, and your hormones. The gym is where you create the stimulus. The food is the raw material. But sleep is where your body actually does the work. If you have been training consistently and not seeing the results you expect, before you change your program, before you add a supplement, look at your sleep first. If this gave you something useful, drop a comment below. Tell me how many hours you're actually getting. I read every single one. And if you want to understand exactly what your body needs, subscribe. Every week, I break this down. See you in the next one.